The dream is real. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your lifestyle specialist, Kenny Bird, reporting live from Love Land on this glorious Take What's Yours Tuesday. And I mean that with my soul. If you work for it, take it. Okay? Stop asking for permission. That's the problem and the reason why you at where you at in your life. Somebody need to hear that. Without further ado, I want to welcome my illustrious panel of superheroes to the table. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the beautiful Dr. Sugar. Cheryl, what's happening, beautiful? Yeah.
Hey,
yeah, we're coming to your city real soon, March 25th. Taylor, how you doing, champ? I don't know what.
Things good.
You tell your brother to stop calling from prison. And last but not least, Coco Burns. Coco, how you doing? You all right?
I'm good.
Yeah. You and your stank face. Jesus Christ. We just listen, ladies and gentlemen, this episode today is very important. I had to have my brother Teule on here because I'm sure he can feel my personal pain just growing up as a black man in the world. But then I had to have my sisters from another mister on this joint too, because y'all got some real perspective. And we all go through things, obviously, as we get older and transform into who we supposed to be. Don't let that go over here. Okay, so I want to start the storytelling off by telling y'all this story. I was in Radford University this weekend. I took my son to surprise his basketball team on Friday. Yes, with the it's broke there. I went up there. I took him. He walked on the court. It was beautiful. A lot of love. And it was just like, kind of like a full circle moment. You know what I mean? Last time I went, I dropped, was taking him up there to do his official visit. But anyway, I've been saying this over the last couple episodes. Like, I feel like since Kyle's thing, my armor has been stripped away from me. You know what I mean? Like all that thug shit, all that you tough, you gotta do something, but you know what I'm saying? And just the nigga shit. That's what it is. It's the nigga shit. I think I was taught growing up that you just had to have this bravado, and cause you're light skinned, you gotta fight extra hard and tell you, I know you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? So you had to do all these things, right? And then yesterday, I tried to post my Burns documentary, Be Ultimately Realistic and Never Sell Out. I tried to post a couple weeks back because I had watched this clip, and I want to play y'all this clip. But this the old Kenny. That's why like this transition has been so hard for me. Tiffany, play that clip.
Dirty agrees to wear Dirt McGirt. But as he waits to go on TV, Rockefeller execs Kenny and Darren arrive.
But you can't tell him what he could wear and can't wear.
I didn't tell him. I asked him what he wanted to wear. That's your problem. You thinking somebody against you or something. Our best interest is old dirty bastard. I felt that taking the wrong direction.
What you did was wrong. Well, that's the end of the discussion. What you did was wrong.
There ain't no in this. Who the you, man? You better watch your mouth, dog. I'm telling you. You gotta work with me, man. Just watch your mouth. That's all I'm asking you. As a man, watch your mouth.
But I'm telling you.
I don't have to do watch your mouth. I'm telling you. That's what you need to do. I'm a grown man.
Yeah, I round of applause for myself. Round of applause for myself. Sorry, there was no necessary round of applause for that. That was some ghetto fabulousness, but it was also the white man coming for me a little bit. That's the end of the story. No, it ain't the end of the motherfucking story. You got the wrong one today. But anyway, this is why I wanted to have the thug life discussion, because I feel like looking at that version of myself, like, yeah, I was proud of myself for asserting myself, but at the same time, why I had to be so just with the shits? You know what I mean? Why did it have to go from me articulating myself, you know what I mean, to wanting to smack his head off his shoulders? You know what I'm saying? So, Taylor, I want to start with you, man. Is it something about our journeys, right? I mean, obviously, you know better, you do better. That's the ideal thought process. But society just don't want to let me release that fully. I'm trying to get it out of my system. Is that the same with you?
Yep, it's your circle, man. When I got a better circle, I started acting better, right? Because a real friend is not gonna let you crash. They tell you like, yo, you out of bounds, dog. I don't have no new friends though. And I don't have no friends in the streets no more. Yeah, but them dudes you was hanging with in that circle, I know definitely.
Oh, no. Absolutely. Let's define friends, first of all. I don't call people friends that are associates or that you know what I mean? You know a lot of people. I'm around the right people is the point. But I can't seem to shake the gangster shit, like, and not even gangster, like I'm trying to be tough or try, you know what I mean? But I was saying I'm stripped of my armor because now I care so much about people's feelings, and you know what I mean? The things that I used to could just brush off my shoulder. I can't just do that no more. I can't just be like, fuck it, you know what I mean? And I wish I could be like, fuck it a lot of the times, you know what I mean? Sugar, what do you think?
I think our sensitivity is heightened because people are more outright with the way that they feel about us, even though it's always been a thing.
Right.
You know, between races and between classes, things have always been a little bit tense.
Yes.
It's more in your face tense now. So it's easier for us to just, you know, go back to our old selves and come out the gate running like, don't try me. Don't try me.
Yeah, take the earrings. No, but Sugar, I think too though, like, and Coco, I'm coming to you, but like, I feel like it's like, you know, I'm in a situation and I know what I should say and shouldn't say because I'm 50 years old. But back then, I liked the bluntness of the honesty. I liked the fact that I wasn't sugarcoating nothing. And it was a threatening kind of era, right? Like people that was saying what they said, and then you did something, they did something about it, and okay, cool, we don't go that way with them, we don't try them. So Coco, how do you feel about that? Because even with women, I know that, you know, we were all taught growing up, be strong, don't let nobody take advantage of you. If they hit you back. You know, you know, so how do you feel about that? Because I think that's part of the gift and curse.
I think it comes with level of maturity. And as we get older, also, we have more to lose. We have families, we have assets and things like that. So we think a little more about our response or our actions in regards to violence versus back then. Because I would get down in a minute. I used to carry that in my car. I would go up to people's houses and be ready to fight and shit. You know, I was a little gangster myself, but that ain't nothing that I'm a retired gangster now. Yeah,
no, for sure. And I don't even think it was about for you, for me, and I'm sure the rest of the people on this panel, and a lot of people listening, it was what you felt you had to do or be ready for the things that could happen versus I'm just gonna go bust somebody head.
It was the 90s.
Yeah, it was the 90s. But I'm coming to you, Sugar. But I think too, like to that point, like, you know what I mean, this era, they got way more access to guns. They have way more information to plot, plan. I mean, like the things that be going on be like CIA, like, you know what I mean? The way people be moving and how they be setting, you know what I mean? And you look at these attacks, you look at like terror, you look at things, you just like, wait, I don't want no smoke because it's, you know, there's a lot of smoke out here. But Sugar, like, don't you agree?
I 100% agree. So I think sometimes we respond in more of an aggressive way to make sure that people don't try us. Unfortunately, we've had to do that because our culture has been made to feel like we need to quiet ourselves down. No, you about to see, so don't come at me crazy. So it comes out like that sometimes just so you can prove a point. It's like, unfortunately, it's kind of like putting a little seasoning on it. Like, it's not bland over here. We're going to let you know.
Right.
And don't play with me again.
Yeah, one time bust a gun for the ones that still think we playing. But I feel too, you know, it's like as a black man, right? I was taught to be tough. I was taught to, you know, defend what's mine. You know what I mean? Like, but even as far as the streets are concerned, it was promoted to me. Like, you know, the streets were like the biggest college in the world for a lot of us young black men. And a lot of us didn't graduate. Graduate meaning leave the streets. A lot of us are dead in jail. But I look at like that time, like I really wouldn't change it for nothing because I eventually came to my senses. But then like when I look at my sons and this generation here, it's like, damn, they need a little bit of that fear daily, you know, of not knowing where the next meal, they need that fear of like, you know what I mean? And that's the one thing I don't want to let go of. I don't ever want to get so comfortable where I don't, and not to be in fear, but to be aware of like, you know what I mean? And even like when I look at this money, right? Because, you know, everybody's goal is money and things and success. And like for me, I'm like, damn, I want to be free. I want to be free of bills. I want to be free of anyone telling me what I have to do. I want to be free. So I think it's all kind of, you know, parallel when you think about the journeys. You know, if I didn't go through those things, I wouldn't have the appreciation for the things I have now, but I also wouldn't have the balance. You know what I mean? People don't have the balance they can't deal with the money and how to keep it and how to grow it and estate planning and where the money gonna go and who gonna do. But so the point I'm trying to make is like you can't have one without the other in my mind. So to forget it is almost like letting go part of my superpower, and that's what I'm dealing with now.
You said the key thing, which is balance, right? Balance, yeah. And so now you understand that your gangster is still there. It's just not. It don't have to be as loud, right? Yeah. So now when I go out, I mean, you told me to go somewhere Friday, which was an absolute not my style. Like it was just too many young people out there.
Well, you said it was for your 21-year-old nephew or cousin, yeah. So.
Yeah. But
how was it? Well, by the way, wait. So I told you to go in there. Did he have fun?
He had a blast.
Okay, well that's all it's about. Tell you that.
I was stressed out. I was stressed out.
I know, but you wanted to take your nephew out because you were trying to show him a good time. So you called Big Brother Almighty, and I told you exactly where he could go have a good time. But sorry, carry on.
Yeah, no. So just that balance, because back in the day with some of the things that I saw and the bumping into and the talking. Listen, my man, I'm not with all that. You really do not want this. But now I'm just like, hey, man, I'm sorry. I apologize, sir. But when we get outside, I can show you something different. I don't want to beat you up in front of your girl because that's terrible. I want your girl to
Wait, this happened Friday or you just saying in general?
Oh, this happened Friday.
Wait, you about to get in a fight Friday?
So I wasn't about to get into a fight.
Oh,
what happened is my nephew, he was talking to a young lady, but he didn't know that she was with somebody else.
Oh, he's cut from your cloth. Okay.
Yeah, so when the guy came out from the restroom or whatever, instead of just saying, hey, this is my girl, what's going on? He a little bump, and I'm like, hey, Chief, you all right? You drunk? Let me get some water?
Yeah.
He was like, nah, y'all talking to my girl. Hey, man, I'm 45 years old. I'm not talking to anybody mature. In here. But what I did is, when we got outside and I saw him, I invited him over to the car just to put my arm around him and say, hey, you really can get yourself hurt. But you see these dudes that I'm with, they really don't have no scruples up top. They here with their son and their nephew, and it really can get stupid for you. But I want you to not get beat up in front of your girl because that wouldn't be good for you because now you're going to go back home and she's not going to respect you.
Wait, so you had that calm conversation with the man?
God's honest truth. And
wow.
I've done that a lot of times. I've been out, Hasididi, whatever. Like, hey, look, man, you getting ready to get yourself into a crash.
Wait, like, Hasididi? Our Hasididi?
Yeah.
Wait, Hasididi almost you trying to rub somebody else's feet in the club? What happened?
What the hell is going on?
It was almost a bad situation.
Oh my God.
But I had to come on in and let the other dude know, like, hey, we're not really here for that. This is also mature stuff. We just want to have a good time.
Tell you later, hold on. I respect that. I respect that. First of all, I don't know too many men that's gonna take that. So especially after drinking in the club and people around and the bravado and ego starts to swimming. But that's really that's commendable. Like for you to take your time, be like, bro, you could got your head knocked off. Bottom line is you should think about that because maybe it might be some less thoughtful people. You know what I'm saying? Next time you had us running. But I want to say this, and I'm sorry that I sent you to a place where you almost got into a fight.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was.
Got some flowers.
So I'm not gonna Jabbar get your people straight, Jabbar Cash. But anyway, so I'm saying this to say I think when you look at that part of the game, and I want Cheryl and Coco, I want y'all to elaborate. Like for men, I know for me, I was taught to protect. You know what I mean? Like, and I've had two instances in my life that almost changed my life. One was the Fernbank Museum here. I think it was 90-something. It was an old gangster from DC that was down here New Year's Eve. And there was one bottle of Dom Perignon. And my mama was being my mama, hey, everybody good, ooh, ooh. So then all of a sudden, hey, I want some motherfucking, how you get the last spot on it? So we kind of arguing. My Detroit crew about to go all the way left.
We got a problem here? We got a problem, nigga?
You know what I'm saying? Then my mama tried to come and be like, baby, go ahead. You want some champagne, baby? And the nigga pulled, not on my mama, because everybody would have died. But the nigga pulls this whole little act and start doing this switchblade thing. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, my mama in the room, same vicinity. Like, you know what I mean? But like at that point, I know this guy. I know he not going. You know what I mean? I know us and, you know what I mean, whatever. I know we not going, so somebody gonna die.
Somebody's going to die tonight.
Like it was like a defining point in my life. Like made it through shootout, you know, all types of wild shit. But this moment, you knew you was dealing with thorough individuals on both sides. You knew something was going left. And for the first time in my life, like I became like Dr. Martin Luther King in this situation and did kind of what you did, you know what I mean? And not even on some like, fellas, my brothers. It was like, yo, so everybody want to die? Like, you know what I mean? Everybody knows, you know what I mean? Like everybody knows how everybody going, you know what I mean? And so with that said, the other pivotal point in my life was here in Atlanta, Georgia. I had moved back to Atlanta and, you know, I got the studio popping. I was actually invested in a tequila called Tequila Distinguido. And we go to the club. So you know me, I'm bringing my liquor in, boom, boom, boom. As soon as I walk in, this dude bumped the shit out of me. I'm talking about like violent bump, like took my shoulder off my body. And so immediately I'm like, yo, you know what I mean? Because it's just a reaction. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So then it became a fight, right? So boom, 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 we going. But one of these youngins came out of nowhere with one of my tequila bottles and hit this man in the head. And when I tell y'all he split his whole, like, and I'm like, whole time we thumping. I'm talking about it's going down, furniture moving, this, and I'm looking, I'm like, yo, and I've got the dude, I'm holding his arms trying to keep him from swinging, like, look at your head, look at your face, my nigga, sit down, you know what I mean? But then I was like, that's when I was like, I'm not, who am I fighting? What is a fight? Who fights? Like, where do they do that at? Because I felt like in my heart of hearts, one, dude, you are fucked up. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting here trying to make you sit down, get you some towels for your face. You know what I mean? So I think for me, those were two defining moments where I figured like, look, these things are going to go all the way left. And you're not going to ever be able to come back from them. Like ever. You know, and Coco, and I want y'all to, like, how was it for y'all in y'all transition? Because I know being young black girls in the world, like, depending on who boyfriend you had, what your hair looked, whatever it was some petty shit happening.
I just didn't put myself in those situations. After school and things like that, I just didn't hang in certain places that I knew would bring certain violence or certain attitudes. You just knew where to go and where not to go, and prevail with a sound mind. Just be like, you know, it's not even worth it. And so I stopped fighting back then.
Okay. I thought you
to be 100% honest, I did not hang out with a lot of girls. I hung out with mostly guys, so I almost never had to handle anything. They took care of it.
You seem like, cause I would fight for you, like, cause you seem like because you got a mouth on you, and I know back then, I just can imagine the type of shit you do, but you also had this endearing quality, so I can see why you had like the dudes hovering.
Yeah, I never put them in a bad situation. Okay. If anything, I would diffuse something that was happening with them before they would have to handle it. Now, if they had to handle it, they would just step up and handle it. But like, in middle school and high school, I was with a lot of white people that did not like black people. Right. So my anger and rage came out then. And so I think that my turning point was getting away from that, going to an HBCU, getting back around black people that were like-minded, and then knowing that I had a place in the world, because, I mean, it was nothing for somebody to come to school with a Confederate flag shirt on.
Wow.
A Confederate flag on the back of their truck. Like, it was a disaster.
Wow.
So we went through a lot of that where I grew up.
Yeah.
But then the blackity black Cheryl just came right back on out.
Yeah. Take that. Well, I'm glad you turned the conversation into the race thing, because, you know, as I pivoted in my life and decided that, you know, I'm not going to be trying to, you know, and to my own credit and having my own back, I only did anything in my life to defend myself. Like, I never was the guy. One time I tried to be Scarface in the bathroom of Roy Rogers on Georgia Avenue. I gave this boy some work, and he tried to bring me back to work all cut up. I'm like, nigga, where my money? You can't bring me back pieces to the part. Anyway, but other than that, I was defending myself. You know what I mean? But when you talked about this race thing, like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I didn't get a gun into my house until 5 years ago. Like, as soon as Donald Trump came into play and white people started going left, I ain't had no piss in my house, because I know what all that. I know what comes with that. I don't even want that You know what I mean? And plus, I live I live where I live. You know what I mean? And I feel like when I first moved in, it's like the neighbor's dog runs through and they come in your property like it's okay. They don't come on your door like they just run in your backyard and be in your backyard. You come out, what you doing? Well, I'm trying to find my dog. Well, you gotta get the fuck off my property and find your fucking dog. I don't know the fuck where the fuck you from. And he talking to me like I'm like, you know what I mean? I never forget too, funny story. And this is how you gotta know, ladies and gentlemen, how to read people. I had a knock on my door. And it was a white man in a pickup truck. Now mind you, I hadn't got a gun in my house. I'm a felon, first and foremost. So I can't handle, my wife has a gun. It's in her name, got paperwork. But I will use it because it's in my house if I have to defend myself. I'm just telling the police right now. Okay? So the man came to my door, right? The man came to my door, knocking on my door. So, we had another occasion where some of the old children that lived in our house now came back to kind of, see the property because, it's love land, whatever, right? So apparently this family was dysfunctional, like super successful, then became meth heads, something crazy, right? And so long story short, we had an issue with the girl coming. So, we talked to the girl, like got kind of lay of the land, but we had already talked to the neighbors, get to know the neighborhood, get to know who, what, when, how, and what happened. You feel me? So long story short, this white man come to my door. And the white man, he look a little off. Now, if you ever been around drug addicts, sold drugs to people, you know what people look like when they got that shit in their eye. You know what I'm talking about? It's that little twinge, like, you know what I mean? We're doing that shit, right? So, man, come to my door. He's like,
how you doing, man? I just want you to know, man, my family used to live here, man. I did some construction on the house, blah, blah, blah. Looks amazing, man. I'm so dope what you guys did. You mind if I...
And mind you, I hadn't said one word. He started introducing...
Mind if I come in and see the...
I said, no, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, and I had to go there. And this is where the gangster shit comes into play. It helps you. I said, fuck it, I'm gonna let you in my house. I don't even know you. Like, you just start talking, I ain't say nothing. Like, what?
No, I don't mean no offense, man.
Now, mind you, before I went to the door, because I did not have a gun out, I went to the butcher knife. Had it right here. Had the butcher knife stacked back in the thing already, right? So he starts getting a little fidget. Well, nah, man, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that. I'm like, this nigga's on drugs. I'm like, he's high right now.
I'm starting to see spaceships on Bankhead.
So he's like, no, it's not like that.
I did some construction in the place, you know what I'm saying? So I just wanted, to see if, because you did such an amazing job with the house.
I said, I think it's time for you to leave. I'm not trying to have no conversation with this motherfucker. He fidgeted, eyes all over the place, playing with his shirt. He started like, he turned around, fidgeting his shirt. He was like,
well, I got tattoos too. We got shit in common. You know what I'm saying? You're not the only one with tattoos.
I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I said, man, listen, man, you gotta get the fuck off my property, man. Cause you make it. Yeah, I took that motherfucker out of my back. You gotta get the fuck off my property.
Oh, no, man, I don't want no problem.
I said, no, you don't. This is on ring. You are high. I am in fear of my life. Look, I started talking to the police before shit even went down.
Amen.
I was like, you are in front of my house making me nervous. You lift your shirt up. I am scared. I got the whole tape. But it's time for you to go and get the fuck off my property. But I'm telling y'all, these white motherfuckers scared me in the way that they been getting down. Not scared me, I'm not scared of no man, but they really on some evil shit. Like,
because you don't know what to expect.
You don't. And they feel entitled.
Can't prep for that.
You can't prep for that. And they feel entitled. And I'm talking about the crazies. I'm not talking about sane humans. I'm talking about these crazies going shoot up churches. These crazies going in because they woke up one day, they feel like the motherfucker in Buffalo, he went to court talking about he's sorry. No, nigga, you did that shit on purpose. Only reason you saying you sorry is because you don't want to die. You gonna live with the rest of the Aryan nation and the white supremacists in prison and be a motherfucking god to them is what's about to happen. So my point is, like, that part of thug life scares me to the point where, like, damn, I done made it all this far. Now you niggas coming around here, I might have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the shit I done made it out of. You feel what I'm saying, Coco?
Yeah, I agree. That's when I went and got my carry and conceal once they start coming out acting that way, because I'm gonna be the shooter. You ain't about to shoot me.
Yeah. Why you looking at her like that? You look like you got turned on. They will lay you are.
I did. That was sexy. I was a little flustered over here. Damn.
Yeah. And I guess the whole purpose of this conversation, and the reason I called it Thug Life is because I think we are taught all the wrong things. When I was looking at the internet the other day, I saw the Chinese kids in the rooms breaking down a gun. And at first I'm like, why are you teaching these babies how to dismantle a gun? But then, if a baby knew how to work the gun, there wouldn't be these tragedies that's going on with these little kids running around. You know what I'm saying? So I want to redefine, like how we teach our kids, one, to defend themselves, because it ain't go buy a gun, just randomly hold that motherfucker sideways, just shoot up the block, kill innocent people. It ain't, just going outside being reckless because you have an attitude. Like anything in defense of your family and your life, or your life and your family, or your well-being, this is when we have to make those decisions. But I think like thug life is just like a real way of life now. Like these kids, in the way that they think, and even when I spoke to your class, Coco, like they had no ambition, none. They had no ambition. These are high schoolers. They didn't even want to engage. And mind you, I was speaking to them like their peer. I wasn't speaking to them like this teacher or somebody coming in to be like an authority. I was, what's up? How you feeling? Giving them game, but they didn't want to do nothing. So that, and I want to know how y'all feel about that, makes me fearful, because thug life is a way of life now. When we were saying, it was like we wanted the confidence, we wanted to stand on top of the shit and be our own individuals and not let nobody take from us and do all the things they had did to us generations before. But this generation is living that shit. How do y'all feel about that? I just learned Discover credit cards do something pretty awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right. Everything you earn doubled. All the cash back from eating at your favorite soup dumpling restaurant. Doubled. All the cash back from that trip where you sort of learned to snowboard. Also doubled. And the best part, you don't have to do anything ridiculous to get it. Nope. Discover does it automatically. Seriously though, see terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match. What does it mean to be black and unlimited? It means being exactly who you are. To be unlimited in your potential. To be unlimited in your creativity. To be unlimited in your imagination. And to be unlimited in your vision. Throughout the year, join Walmart in amplifying the voices of black brands and creators, giving them a stage to spotlight their unlimited brilliance. That's Black and Unlimited. Visit walmart.com/black and unlimited to learn more. And you want to know why? Because the dream is real. The inspiration from others drive us forward. Their resilience pushes us to excel, and their path navigates the way towards freedom. Ford is proud to celebrate Black history, not just this month, but year-round. They're committed to being the fuel for change, supporting Ford Fund programs centered around economic, educational, and empowerment opportunities for our communities to continue creating the future. Learn more at fordfund.org. Built Ford proud.
Unfortunately, after quarantine and COVID and all of that, I mean, COVID is still a thing, but when we were shut down, it's like they completely lost any sense of getting a little bit more mature in the way they communicate. They don't know how to communicate.
Right.
They don't know how to communicate with each other. They don't know how to communicate with themselves. They don't know how to communicate with people who are superiors. So they are immediately, they're at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to communicate how they feeling. So then they just want to turn up. And I'm like,
react.
What do you do?
Man, and that's why I was giving Teule credit for Friday. Like to be able to have, like even myself, like even able to talk things out and not have to be so, like, because we know what comes with her. Like nothing but,
Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop out, I'm staying still.
So, Taylor, how did the dude take it? Because I think I had cut you off before you finished, but how did he take that advice? How old do you think he was?
I think he was real cool. Every time I've ever approached a situation in that way where it's like, yo, you're a human being, you are another black man, I don't want no problems. They kind of calm down, right? It's like, all right, big bro, I appreciate it. Once they get a big bro, you know it's all good, right? Or when they get, all right, OG, we good. But my whole thing is this, the reason why I'm scared of this generation is because they want validation in a way that is beyond what I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
Which means they'll go out and pop you in your head.
Yeah.
And be like the dude who, shot up everybody in Buffalo. Oh, I'm sorry. He just wanted to be validated somehow to where you're willing to just kill everybody.
Right.
Like that's like you willing to get beat up in front of your girlfriend just so your buddies, who ain't gonna help you, because they obviously see what's really gonna happen.
Right.
You want that type of validation? That's the scary part, where you see these individuals, you getting RICOs, you getting all kind of stuff, because everybody feels like, okay, well, if this is what makes me accepted, I'm willing to do this. And that is a scary position for a society to have. Like,
no question.
Yeah, like that's wild, but
yeah.
I always try to approach everybody like, yo, let's just diffuse this, because you want to live. I know you want to live. I want to live.
Right.
I got stuff to do. I'm not trying to die at no club. Like,
yo, and I don't
having sex.
Right, and I don't know if y'all.
Absolutely.
I don't know if y'all saw this. There, I forgot. Is it Venezuela?
El Salvador.
They were showing the gangs and how they are now giving them no rights. They don't have right to attorney. They don't have. If they say you did something, you did it. And it's way more aggressive over the Mexicans and the murder game and how they get down with the cocaine and all the drugs. Unbelievable. Savagery. Savages. I'm talking about unbelievable. How they kill without caring your unbelievable. Unbelievable. But I've never heard of anything like that where you don't have no right to no lawyers, you don't have no right to, and they had these boys barefoot coming out the thing in drawers and chains, but they all look like gangsters. And you wonder why you young brothers in the States get profiled, because it's cool to look like a crackhead with the dirty dreads all in your face, looking burnt out at 18. You look burnt out at 18. So I think that we need to get, and this is where we bring it back around, y'all, so feel free to jump in, but like, we gotta get into some type of mode of like, I don't know what it is. You two are educators, Coco and Cheryl. Y'all are, well, I mean, but you're educators. You're a parent, you know what I mean? You're a community person, like, so I'm just saying, but like, how do we communicate? Because the thing, I'm not scared of them, I'm scared for them. I'm scared that they won't have, real opportunity with all the opportunity that exists out here. All the means they have. Like, how do we get them on the right track?
So for me, being in the high school and actually being a respected individual in the community and at the school, because I knew most of these people, most of these children, family, but it was still hard to get through to them. I would have deep conversations with them, but you can't get through to them because of their mindset.
Right.
Everything is in their phone, so they think they know everything. Google got their back. So even when you're speaking with them, they have been so desensitized to anything.
Right.
Like, even with fighting, they would stomp someone's head, and I would speak with them and be like, why would you do that? Do you know you could kill them accidentally and go to jail? Do you want, oh, well, then it is what it is. That would be the response from a female student.
No,
I mean, it's really shocking.
No, and I remember that, but this is the thing y'all don't understand, youngins. They want you to do that shit. They want you to go to jail. They want you to have no life. They want you to have a scar. I'm 50 years old. I have to pay every time I go to Canada. The promoters have to pay every time because of some charges that happened when I was 18 years old. I am an upstanding community that has affected tens of thousands of lives. I don't know how to, what is forgiveness? And this is the lesson to y'all. They will not forgive you. It is their job to put you in a trick bag for the rest of your life.
And they need to stop doing these drugs.
The drugs is the main problem. Do you know there's an epidemic of mushrooms?
Oh, yeah.
No. But like, back in the day for us, the extreme was cocaine. Right. But you were terrified of cocaine. Because if you was in the streets and you really saw what crack ended up becoming, you were like, wait.
You smoke crack, don't you?
Anything that can get closely remoted to zombie, like, I'm not. Heroin was big. You knew that you was not fucking. But these mushrooms, there was a kid in Atlanta, Georgia, jumped off the 16th floor of some of the 12 building and lived on the mushroom.
What type of shit is this?
Yeah. There's people doing mushrooms though, like it's recreational. And I'm like, bro, and I get it. If you get high and you can function, and I'm not saying this is okay, so please don't mistake the words that come out of my mouth. But if you get high, I get it. There are some equipped people that can deal with a certain level of high. But you motherfuckers trying shit because your partner said try it and you ain't about that life. You motherfuckers that's out here talking about, You know what I'm saying? You for the first time, you don't come back from a trip. You know this is like brain altering type of drugs. You understand me? These synthetic drugs y'all are this lean, it is tearing your organ walls out. Do you know what happens when your organ wall goes? You can't it don't come back. So I just, I agree with you, Cole, because it's frightening the level of high that these youngers are in search of. The level of high. How high do you want to be? You smoke one joint, you're going to get high. You smoking a half ounce of weed, a quarter ounce of weed, you can't think that you're gonna, I don't know. And it's frustrating because I partly feel responsible. I do. I feel responsible because I was even listening to R&B yesterday. And when you listen to them 90s,
bangers.
The 90s, no, not only just bangers, but it was also some like freedom in the wrong way that was starting to be introduced. It was some,
I'm in love with marriage and
some things where we should have, and I understand now why they had certain shit back in the 80s. You couldn't just put that on the radio. Or you could, because there were safeguards from ourselves. There were safeguards from us not jumping off the fucking ledge. We keep jumping off the ledge now. We want to improve on fucking society up. That's every new generation. I'm talking about 10-year clips. They want to improve on fucking up life. It's scary.
Dealing with middle schoolers currently and their inability to communicate their feelings, their inability to even know what's going on, but then they also think they are adults. It's the weirdest thing to have to sit down with them. Sometimes I just sit down with them and I just let them tell me something. Then I say, okay. Then I repeat what they said. I'm like, does it make sense to you?
Right.
They're like, it doesn't. And that's okay.
Right.
But think about what you're saying so that you can make sense to yourself first, then to others.
Yeah.
You don't have to say things in order to just fit in. Or you don't have to say things just because you think that's the norm. It's not. You don't have to be like that. You don't, just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
And it's hard for them to be themselves or shit when every day they wake up comparing. And I want to tell I want to tell a younger something. When you look at like the Thuggers, the Dirks, when you look at like the let's say the gangster rappers that have made it for 10 years, they all want to be not a thug anymore. You know this, right? They all want to dress a certain way. They want to be in certain rooms. They, acclimate to these rooms by acting different. Do not think Kodak Black went to Paris acting like Kodak Black that got a warrant out for his arrest for violating probation in Florida. Okay? And that was, take that. But the point I'm trying to make is like, right or wrong, y'all, like, people, you can start with despair. It's like Jeezy. Jeezy's the only artist, still talk about selling birds. I don't know why, because you had the most classic album or two ever talking about that. And you're a businessman. So I don't really understand it, but it works for him. But he still does things that I wouldn't think Jeezy would do. It's almost like with me. Like if I'm hosting parties at 50, like that you went to Friday night, they were like, something wrong with me. Something wrong with me if it's two generations in there younger than me, and I'm up here knowing the words to Dirk. No, and I'm not saying you can't know the words to Dirk. I'm not saying you can't like what they like, and clearly you see how I blend into culture, at this age. But dog, everybody y'all look up to really wants a better life. Really wants to. I mean, look at Dolph. I feel so bad. God rest the dead. Like such a smart man. Such a smart man. You know what I mean? But didn't let go of it quick enough. And that life comes to see y'all. Hello? All of y'all thinking that, to Coco point earlier, all y'all think about, whatever happened. No, look at the trial right now going on with Thug and them. They singing like a motherfucking choir.
Amen.
His man. People ain't about that life. And so you go through this process, especially all you real ones. Let me talk to the real ones real quick. Let me bust that gun so you don't have to. All the real ones, you're the first to go. You are the first to go. And because you are real, because you are a leader of men, because you can move men, You got to do that with your brain, bruh. There's plenty of ways to execute an assignment without putting your life in jeopardy. Ladies and gentlemen, like, and Taylor, I'm gonna give you some more props, man. Like, talking, the ability to show somebody you're powerful with your words, trust me, it lasts longer, especially if you don't get into the bullshit to begin with. I know now. I wish I would have knew back then. I know now, but I want y'all to know. I want the 20-somethings that are listening to this podcast. I think 30% of our podcast listeners is that. Y'all got to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
They going to listen to y'all. It ain't even hard because whatever they see, it's monkey see, monkey do. Whatever they see, they emulate. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a creative generation. I'm sorry. This is not a creative, like you're creating something new. Y'all emulate, you sound alike in records. You can't even wear the same thing because by Friday, every celebrity you know got on the same shit. So I challenge you, and I meant that. I challenge you to be thought leaders. Not to not be cool, not to say all the right shit, not to not be outside. But just be thoughtful leaders. Move people mentally. Last thing about thug life. I'm speaking to all the young men and women who use sex on some thug shit. Okay? And I know they coming up with a cure for AIDS. I know. Cause y'all seem to act like it's at the store right now. It's how y'all acting. I know y'all see the commercials and it could be not detected and do all this shit. But let me tell you one thing I know. Diseases mutate, okay? All you sexual thugs out there, diseases mutate. How many variants of COVID have we seen since COVID launched? How many herpes are there out here? Huh? All you cold sore having motherfuckers, you think that ain't a sign of herpes? And it's okay. Listen, people have it. People have it. Listen. But I don't understand how you don't value yourself. That's the only thing I'm talking about today, ladies and gentlemen. All you sexual thugs, you have to value yourself. It don't even matter if you don't respect nobody else. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Do you want to be bumped the fuck up? Do you want to ooze out of your cracks? I'm being serious because people act like this shit don't exist. You like to talk to people in public without wearing a mask, right? Do you not see people out here with shit on their lip? Do you not see people out here cutting their lip to pull the skin over the shit? Do you not see the shit? You got to be more careful. Because that sexual thug life, y'all, that's some shit y'all potentially cannot come back from. And I'm just keeping it 1,000 wild. I don't give a fuck what freak you think you are, or what you guys suck and lick and all the shit. I hear you. We are cut from the same cloth. But you better get you someone, someone, or at least to have a conversation, you nasty motherfucker. Y'all out here fucking people and sucking their asshole and you don't know their mama. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say to y'all. You sexual thugs. And lastly.
That was last.
And lastly, I'm talking to my mature adults out here. I know it get lonely. It get lonely in relationships. But you ain't got to do nothing that you don't know how to do out here in these streets, okay? I don't want you to feel obligated because you playing in a game you're not familiar with. I just don't want y'all to let that go over y'all head. I want y'all to be safe. Because the sexual thug life ain't it.
Oh, sexual thug life go crazy.
It's true.
That's true. That's real. I just wasn't ready for the delivery. It's very real.
Okay, I want us, capital U, capital S, to start being the 20-something-year-old versions, the late teen version. When it's time to say something, we have to say to each other. I was praying to God the other day. Listen to me. I was praying. I was like, I really want to be able to deliver the things I'm thinking in my head without offending people, right? I really want to be able to deliver the things that are in my head to uplift and inspire. But some people don't get that shit. It does not connect the same way. Bitch!
You right.
No, listen.
Yeah,
I'm working on me. So I'm working on my delivery, but I also deal in the truth. People don't be dealing in the truth. That's why like my bullshit meter is just not, it's just not, I can't do bullshit because I'm not going to bullshit you. And I don't want anybody listening to this to be a bullshitter. We are discrediting our value if we bullshitting people. We are not serving our true purpose, and we not telling the motherfucking truth. You got to, if you told a motherfucker not to suck on somebody the day before they was about to go suck on somebody, and then they got the herpes. Then they got the motherfucking H, man. The H is a motherfucker, man. You don't know. It don't ask you when they want to show up. Shit just busting that gun on your motherfucking ass. But imagine the motherfucker you could have saved for telling the truth.
And one of the bigger problems is, number one, parents are not having these conversations with their children.
Facts.
And number two, I have been in the same school for 5 years and there is no sex education.
That's fucked up.
None.
That fucking Tennessee public school system, that's fucked up. You're not having sex conversations with kids that can watch porn as soon as they touch a phone?
Facts.
They watch it in class.
Oh shit! Wait, Kendra, you what?
They sure will.
They watch porn.
Oh, they. I thought you said I said this nigga Kendra just jumped off the fucking.
Yeah, you know good and well she ain't saying.
Taylor, did we both do this at the same time?
Right, I thought I heard that.
Taylor's little ears perk up at anything, so don't use him to validate yourself. No. But yeah, honestly, I'm in seventh grade, right? And y'all, when I tell you, you can tell immediately when these kids start having sex, everything changes. They don't listen. They think they can do whatever they want to. It's crazy because I didn't think that it was as obvious as it was when I first came to middle school. But when I tell you, it's almost like you can smell it. I'm like, you don't come back to the school pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, at that time I wasn't Dr. Reed yet. Miss Reed, I said, listen to me. Don't call me.
Yeah.
Sad, and do not come to the school after Christmas break pregnant. Listen to me.
Yeah.
She in 11th grade now, so we're good.
Okay, we're good. One time for the non-pregnant 11th grader. But why was we scared, y'all? And I know we was poking around a little bit here and there and trying.
Because they show us the pictures.
You know what?
Pictures of syphilis and green stuff oozing. And I used to show it to my students because they used to be bent over in the bathroom and all that. I'm like, they would come and tell me, he hit. They was in the bathroom, Miss Taylor, da, 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 da. I'm like, what? Let me show y'all these pictures. You see all them scars? And they be like, they don't see that. They scared the hell out of us in school.
Listen. And you know, listen, and we ain't here, I'm not telling no youngin' right now that we wasn't with the shits like that. We didn't try a few things. But what I am saying is, y'all, to Dr. Sugar's point, y'all not even, don't nobody talk to y'all about nothing. They not even giving you, I bet you probably never had a conversation with your people about herpes. The most commonly exchanged disease in the world. Herpes. Yeah, put the tip in. No. That ring around your dick. Huh, stupid? Huh?
And then don't go further into same-sex relationships. Because these kids are out at school and not out at home. And it's scary because half the time they don't feel like they have anybody that they can talk to. So they in these super adult-like relationships.
Right.
The most toxic things I have ever seen have been on a 7th grade hallway. I am 40 years old and I have never been in a toxic relationship like these kids.
Wow.
And so I have to step outside of myself and be like, look, does your mama know y'all together? No, ma'am. Okay. If you need to talk to somebody, you come talk to me.
Right.
And unless you're going to hurt yourself or somebody else, it stays between us. But y'all don't need to be going through all of these things alone.
Right.
Because you can't tell your mama you like girls.
Unbelievable.
But another thing, I don't know if you've ran into this, but the girls think that they are still virgins if they don't have penetration through the vagina. They'll have anal sex, they'll suck, and do all the other sexual things. But then they feel like, well, I'm still a virgin because I didn't penetrate through my vagina.
Yeah,
so that's
but you done suck 400 dicks and you in the fucking 11th grade. Where do they...
A lot of dicks.
And the boys will come to school and tell you who sucked the best. I mean,
the boys will be lined up.
I think when you talked about, safeguards, when you remove safeguards from society, you open up the floodgates to debauchery. So back in our day, we was having sex, but there were certain things, especially sisters, wasn't doing. If you tried to slip it in her butt back in the day, she'd be like, hey, nigga, you get hepatitis like that, right? Don't you do that. Now, they come in like, hey, you don't want none of this? She'd be like,
this nigga said hepatitis.
Like,
H, nigga.
Like, because you know how many times a sister has been like, yo, spit in my mouth? I'd be like, shorty, we not doing that. I'm not going to spit in your mouth. But whenever you take these safeguards, no, for real, that it became so popular, right? I want you to... you got to have safeguards in place, right?
You do.
Because if you don't, people just run crazy. These kids will do anything because what they see in porn and what they friends are talking about, they feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. Let me say this last thing. I had a young lady who I was talking to before I got married.
You sure you want to talk about this now?
Oh, yeah. Me and my girl, she don't care. So I wasn't intimate with the young lady, but I felt like it was going to get there. And so she was like, oh, yeah, well, one of my friends got herpes. And then she brought around to her. She's like, and I got herpes, but, dudes don't really be tripping like that. I said, oh, yeah, this is not going to work, sis. I don't just go around picking up Louis luggage, and we ain't going nowhere. Like, no, we're not doing that. But that's, again, the safeguards. Like herpes used to be a scary thing back in the day, right? You see how the HIV commercials, everybody look happy. There's nothing happy about HIV.
No.
Exactly.
No. But it is scary, Kendra, but they have minimized.
They have.
Literally, I know so many people that are like that chick that Tay used to talk to. They like, I remember it used to be a person found out they had herpes. It was like a death sentence.
Facts.
Not like a death sentence, but they were not trying to be with nobody, baby.
Facts.
Then as years progressed,
facts,
they just with people and they wouldn't tell them they had
horrible
outbreak.
And they think that not having an outbreak is a permission to go crazy. No, nigga, it's in your system. But I want to say this to all of TKBS Nation. These conversations are meant for you because there's somebody listening right now that has a child that hasn't had this discussion or has a nephew, niece, godchild, somebody they care about that has not had this conversation. We have to have this conversation. To all my young men, I wanted to tell you what I did so that you know that it's possible for you to get out of anything that you're in. Okay? But it's on you to make the decisions to leave the bullshit alone. All right. And that's why I tell these stories. That's why I'm so authentic and vulnerable with them, because I want young men to know, look, if Kenny Burns can get up out there, he got a successful relationship, good kid, you can too. All right. This sex thing, y'all got to start showing these pictures. To Coco point, y'all have to start showing these kids what's going to happen to their cooter or the pooter. You know what I'm saying? Sorry about that. But the point I'm trying to make is, y'all gotta show them, cause you're right. These what's the name of the AIDS commercial? I damn near know the niggas on the commercial. I could identify them in public. They show these motherfucking commercials so much. These people on here talking about you can have the shit. I'm talking about not to listen, y'all. Herpes is bad.
They trying to normalize it.
They are normalizing it. They showing you fully functional out here in the street, kissing in the mouth, all the things that you should do in private or on your time. They got on TV daily. So that's a whole nother episode. But the point I'm trying to make is, y'all got to be more careful and you got to share the information. I'm going to go around to my illustrious panel of superheroes just for a word as we exit. Coco?
I done said enough.
All right. Too late. Shit.
Two things. One, if you're the smartest person in your circle, you're in the wrong circle. And the reason why I say that is because it only takes one leader to change the trajectory of society, to be honest, right? You gotta start telling your boys, your girls, like, yo, what you're doing is whack.
Facts.
You cheating on your spouse, yo, that's whack.
Facts.
Because if we are accepting things that we know are terrible, then people are just gonna continue to normalize it, right?
Facts.
So like, just be a leader and let your peoples know, like, the lifestyle you live in is stupid. Gangster ain't never loud. It's always quiet. Ask the government.
Okay, I like that. Growing up right before our eyes. Dr. Sugar.
I just want to say, you don't have to change your friends in order to change your friends. So, KB was talking about earlier
Sorry, you get a horn, baby.
how his friend, he doesn't feel like he's got new friends, but the thing is, everybody has evolved and everybody has much more to lose. So, in essence, your friends have changed, but you haven't changed your friends.
Exactly.
So, be careful of who you're around. Make sure everybody's evolving. Make sure you're evolving. Make sure that you are accountable and holding them accountable, just like Taylor did.
Listen. Round of applause for you superheroes. I want to add on to those last couple of things. I mean, Coco ain't had shit to say, but Dr. Sugar and Taylor, you're so right about change. And I want to encourage people to change, because if you don't, the things around you will. And that can be scary. Okay.
Yeah.
And Taylor,
That was good.
Yeah, you're good. I got it from Springboard. But Taylor, like, I agree, bro. Like, you know, you have to lead by example, even if you're not the quote unquote leader of your crew. What you do best is an example, you know, to the rest of your peers, to the rest of your friends. What do you do best? How can you add the most value? You know, and I want to tell all the leaders out there, because you have it naturally doesn't mean you should be leading. You know, leadership takes real responsibility. It takes selflessness that, you know, I don't really see a lot today. So I wish you all that selflessness disease. I don't want you to get herpes. I don't want you to get AIDS. I don't want you to get syphilis. I don't want you to motherfucking pussy to shrivel up, die. I don't want your dick to fall off. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, Thug Life 21, episode 21, Thug Life. And on that note, I want to say it together with our chest like we mean it. 1, 2, 3. The dream is real. All right, here's a gunshot for the unorganized, non-unison way we said that. I love y'all. Peace.
The dream is real.